Here we are. Look, ain't no more hesitation. It's always the ones who invalid who trying to seek validation. Your excuses recycle, no wonder you feel like your time is wasting. No wonder you feel like you always waiting. It's all lining up for me, you ain't play your part, no wonder you feel like your time is fading. So I ain't got no time for you wanna be friends.
Man, what's up, man? Are y'all tired of getting denied for things like homes, credit cards, cars, apartments, things like that? Man, y'all need to holler at my boy Xavier Clark at Clark Prestige. He gonna get you right. You tired of not getting enough money on your taxes? Xavier Clark, get you right. Have it done right. Get you more money on your taxes. Get you faster. Get rid of all them collections on your credit. Whatever you need. Holler at Xavier Clark at Clark Prestige.
All up on my plates. 7, my city told me how to pay for days. Oh, started with 0, now I'm getting dough. Oh, started with 0, now I'm getting dough. Hey, stay all up on my plates. 7, my city told me how to pay for days. Oh, started with 0, now I'm getting dough. Oh, started with 0, now I'm getting dough. I walk in the function and I know everybody. My crew right beside me, I came with everybody. And they get to talking cause we ain't everybody. Then they girl get to flocking cause I ain't everybody. On my feet ever touch the ground, I gotta thank the Lord. He put this money in my pocket, so I gotta thank him for it. Every breath I'm breathing is a blessing and a reason. Now I started touching all of the things that I was dreaming. Life's decent, gorgeous karma, women all up on me, my weakness. Women on my line is more than down, I'm not reaching. Money in the bank accumulate like I'm leeching. Money in the bank accumulate like I'm leeching. It took a lot of hurt, it took a lot of losses. I felt like I was cursing, what's worse is I knew that I was destined. I knew I was the one, cause you can make it anywhere if you can make it from where I'm from. Hey, stay all up on my plates. 7, my city taught me how to pay for days. Oh, started with 0, now I'm getting dough. Oh, started with 0, now I'm getting dough.
Started with 0. It's that 870 by Danny B.
That's good, Danny.
Yeah, he went off. You tune in to Really Rell Podcast. This is episode number 6. And I have a special guest today. The lovely Miss Jasmine.
You want me to tell them who I am?
Yeah, don't tell them who you are.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jasmine Stith, a.k.a. The Pretty Plug. I motivate, I educate, I inspire people to be all they're called to be simply by walking by faith and launching their gold. Their gold is the gifts that only the Lord delivers. I'm from Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Always loved my hood. Will never change where I came from or even how my accent sounds. I'm Arkansas raised, Texas paid, but really New York, that's what built the plug.
That was a hell of an introduction.
I tried.
So, man, what's been going on? What's life been like since high school?
Which part you want to go through? College, and then you want to go through me going to New York, or then me coming back to Texas, then the whole world ending, and then now being next here to you? Like, which parts?
Just start with what's relevant.
Man, when I left Pine Bluff, that was probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in my entire life. I had a close knit of friends like Ariel, Quill, Jazz, Jalen, Scooby, Larry. I mean, I had a lot of friends. I've always had a lot of people around me, and not on no fake stuff. Like, we used to go to Wingstop and like twerk on cars, and that is a legit thing. I will try to find the video. And it was like off some Swakitha stuff. I don't know, you remember that back in the day? And if Swakitha, if you're listening to this, with love, my dear sister. But it was a twerking had just started, right? And I graduated high school, and I had to move to Texas. My mom had told me I had to move. And if you want to go into like why I had to move, I definitely don't mind sharing that too. But I wound up leaving, and it seemed like I'd never come back, but I would come back for different events, and I would host things in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, because I recognized that I had some information that my people from the Bluff just didn't.
Hold on, one second.
Yeah, for sure.
Did you didn't want to move?
Nah,
So
I wanted
to go to UAPB?
Nah, I wanted to go to Jackson State so I could be a JSET.
Oh, okay.
But if I went to UAPB, I would have been a Golden Girl.
Okay.
I was gonna dance, but my mama was like, I can't really. I want to just do hair, so I was different, right? I just wanted to really do hair. Like, that's all I've ever wanted to do, and I did my hair, by the way. Slay on them. And I literally wanted to go and do hair, but my mom, you know, she wanted me to reach for higher goals. Not that that's not a good goal, but she was just like, you know, beauticians, they may struggle with having insurance. And again, that is not something that, I think she just said that. We know that if you're in the cosmetology industry, you can definitely have insurance. But I think I was not knowledgeable enough, and I guess I needed insurance. And she was like, also, if you don't go to school, I won't pay to get your hair done. Like, I don't know. My mom was very crafty at making sure that I actually went and did something that was more aligned with what she kind of wanted me to do.
Right.
So, and if I went to school, I knew I wanted to be an engineer. I wanted to make phones. And that's because I never could have a really good phone because my parents just wouldn't give me the best phones. And this is not a shade to my parents, by the way. I'm just telling y'all the real. I was from Pine Bluff. I had Cricket. Like, that was the phone. Like,
I have to say that so much on here.
That's what I'm saying. I had Cricket. Like, I literally had a Cricket phone, and they didn't come with iPhones at the time. I think Metro PCS was like the elevation, but I just wanted better phones, and my friends would have better phones, and I couldn't have them because people weren't paying for them, so I just wanted phones. That was like my reason for being an engineer.
Okay.
It's so simple.
And you went to school?
Yeah, I went to Prairie View. A&M University.
Graduated there?
Oh, yeah. And I became an Alpha, Kappa Alpha sorority incorporated woman. 1908, baby. First and finest.
When you was going to school, when you like, you know, probably in the midst of that, how did you feel about your move then?
I lost all my friends. I didn't have FaceTime. Remember, I had a trash phone. Right. I didn't get an iPhone until like my sophomore year, close to junior year. And that's when technology and social media had really started. Like, Instagram launched in 2012. And with the power of social media, you could kind of keep in touch, but Instagram kind of kept you in touch better. Facebook, I don't know what we was doing with Facebook back then. We doing something with Facebook now, so much different. But I was sad, like...
There was a lot of stuff that wasn't on Facebook back then.
Correct. It just was like your friends and telling them...
I only think you could comment on status back then.
Yeah, you couldn't. It wasn't a developed app, but Instagram, you at least had pictures.
Yeah.
So, I was sad all the time. Like, I just remember everybody in Prairie View, they used to make fun of me because of my voice. And I was just like, I didn't know nothing was wrong with my voice, you know, and my accent. And I always felt like I was dumb. Like, I was smart at Pine Bluff, but when I went to Prairie View, it's just like everybody had gone to these academy schools, or they had gone to these private schools, or I was already studying engineering. So I just had so many insecurities that I had to, like, work through my freshman year and my sophomore year. I just always felt different.
So you were getting that Bama treatment.
I was getting something.
They was treating you like, because you were country.
Yeah, they would say that. Like, people would make jokes like, you know, incest, like you date your cousins. And I'm like, nah, I dated a dude from Louisiana. Yeah. He wasn't from Pine Bluff originally. But
they must think we don't have family reunions.
I don't know what it is, but it's just like it's almost like when you're from Pine Bluff, Arkansas, or like the connotations of Arkansas, it's like you just this country bumpkin on a farm. And I make sure I say, like, I'm from Pine Bluff, Arkansas, but I never milked a cow. Like, my line sisters, while we was online, I probably shouldn't be saying this, I was like, y'all, I never milked a cow. Like, I swear.
Yeah.
Because they assume that. And, like, I never milked a cow. I still don't know, and I will never do that.
I done heard crazier. Somebody asked me, did we have streetlights?
Oh, my God, really?
Yeah. I'm like, yes.
That's different.
Like, we get...
Like a dirt road. Now, there are pieces in Arkansas, like, that are like that. But Pine Bluff was a little bit more developed. Just a little bit more. But our homecomings, you remember our homecomings? You remember the street, Main Street?
Yeah, I still
Ooh, that stuff used to be so lit. I used to be dancing.
I still be out there every now and then. So.
Yeah.
So how did you so you went to school for that?
Yeah.
How did you transition to what you're doing now?
Yeah, so one thing about me, like, due to my upbringing, I had to make something of myself. Like, I didn't want to go home. Home wasn't a peaceful place for me, for many multitude of reasons. Not because my mom wasn't a good mom. My parents divorced when I was 7 years old. I just grew up in dysfunction, you know, and even now on my Instagram platforms, I'm like doing a more activism role when it comes to Black love. But I just grew up in dysfunction and turmoil and confusion. And I just remember, like, I would go to my friend Kiera's house and I would be like, man, I love it over here. And she'd be like, why? You know, your mama got this, your mom got it. I was like, I just feel like it's peaceful. Like, I feel love, right?
Right.
And so that was my environment. So I always was in all the extracurricular activities. I did a basketball manager because we could get McDonald's, and we was always gone. Like, I was always gone. And I didn't know, like, I think I was running away from things even as a child. And what I really learned is, like, all of those pieces of me from Palm Bluff, knowing that I really couldn't go home because of various reasons, I was just like, I got to make something of myself. So my first year...
When you say home, you mean your crib? Or
I
Palm Bluff?
My mom moved to Texas. She moved to Dallas as soon as I graduated high school. So home was Dallas now. And I didn't know anyone from Texas except my cousin. So I was just like, home wasn't home anymore. Home to me was Aisha's.
Yeah.
Home to me was like my birthday parties at Wingstop.
Yeah.
Going to Walmart dressed up because that's the club. Like, home now was Dallas, Texas, and I didn't even know anything there. I didn't know people. And I was just like, it just wasn't fun.
Yeah, you were way more disciplined than me because I kept going back home. Every time I felt, like when I first moved here, every time I felt like, man, this ain't it.
Yeah.
I went back.
I literally couldn't. Like, my mom wouldn't let me. Like, she was like, no, you're not going. Like, I wanted to go so much more, but I couldn't. Like, I just literally just had to, like, rest in the fact that I was no longer going to be going to Arkansas except for Christmas to visit my dad, or for Thanksgiving, kind of. But I only was like 18 and 19. Like, what was I going to do, you know?
Right.
And I started getting internships as a freshman.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you see today. Like, I said I was going to be something with myself. You know, I got told, like, go to college, do something. My auntie, she's an electrical engineer. That's all I kind of knew as far as the major. And I just made some of myself. My first summer of college, I worked at General Electric Power and Water. My second summer, I worked at General Electric Oil and Gas. My last 2 summers, I worked at a financial firm in New York City. And the rest is history. Like, I just killed bossing up. And so, one fun fact about me, I was putting on for the city. And let me tell you why. This country girl was the first one in her freshman class to get an internship as a freshman. Everybody else was going to get them, but I got my offer before December. So it was like fall, right? Semester starts August. By December, I had my job already laid out, gonna make $19 an hour. My friends was like, how you do that? I said, I worked hard. Yeah, I'm a little country, but I'm savage, bougie, classy, little ratchet. But I was gonna get my money, and that's one thing about me. I've been working since I was 15 years old. You wanna know my first job?
What was that?
I was working at JCPenney's.
I just knew you were finna say a chicken place.
You know what? I didn't even know I could work. Like, Aisha's didn't look like a business that you could work for. It was like one person back there. It just didn't give.
She said home is Aisha's, home is Wingstop. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. And so this is what I used to have. Like, hello, welcome to JC where we save your pennies. I was a greeter.
Yeah.
They made that position for me. I don't know. I wanted to work the cash register and they wouldn't let me.
Well, you said you were 15, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to get close to the paper. Like, I've all my life, I'm like, man, I want to work at the grocery store so I can work at the cash register. Like, I've been always trying to touch the money.
How long was you in New York?
2015 summer, 2016 summer, 2017, 2018, 2019. I was there for a minute. I was there. I was in it. I was walking by faith all through that. Like, there wasn't a day that went by that I didn't put walk by faith on my Instagram and my Snapchats.
Yeah.
I was lonely, too. It was lonely. It was painful. I cried on the subways. You can dive in any time because it was hard.
You ain't never try to just reach out and try to... Are you a people person? You seem like it.
Yeah, I'm a people person.
Oh, you ain't never just try to talk to people?
What I'm going to do, complain about living in New York?
No, I'm saying as far as, like, just making friends, like...
Oh, I have tons of friends, but I still felt alone.
Yeah.
You want to know why?
Wow.
Because all my friends, they saw me as the engineer versus the pretty plug. So our conversations wasn't, Jazz, how your podcast? Some would, but it's like, dang, Jazz, you work at Financial Bank. I'm like, yeah, but I'm over here on social media, like, you can't see me trying? So it's like, I had more friends like that versus more creative friends.
Right.
And so it felt lonely because it's like I'm pushing and pushing. I'm pushing Walk by Faith. I'm pushing my brand. Like, I'm going through stuff. I'm going through breakups. I'm going through heartaches. Like, I'm physically next to people, but I feel alone because I don't feel like people really understand me.
Have you grew from past that, or do you still feel like that today?
Man, it's even worse now.
Nah, you know me now.
Yeah,
you got me here now.
yeah. So, but it took 8 years. 8 years.
I only been doing this a year though.
Right, but like, I left Arkansas in 2012. It's 10 years since I've been in Arkansas. Ain't that wild?
Yeah.
That's 10 years that I have been away from Pine Bluff, Arkansas, like my day-to-day. 10.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
I think because of how we grew up, or because of... It could be because of how I grew up and because of the things we had to deal with. Our generation got in our 20s and it was just like...
Yeah.
Like, we wasn't trying to take the time to enjoy it.
Yeah.
It was all business, and it was the time to find ourselves, you know?
Yeah.
When we really should have been got that out the way.
Of
Or at
finding
least,
ourselves?
I ain't gonna say got it out the way, but at least started it. It's like everything was just, it's just like we were living, and then we probably hit 22, 23 and was like, man, I got a lot of childhood trauma. I got a lot of this. I need to deal with this. I need to deal with that. Like,
Man, I knew I had trauma when I moved.
yeah.
Like, I went through a breakup, like, so I can talk about it because I feel like, why not? I was in a relationship and I was happy.
Yeah.
I had a high school sweetheart.
Right.
And it ended because I moved. Like, that's the reason. That's the reason. People's parents were scared we was gonna make twins. Cause my mama a twin, my grandma a twin. It's like 6 sets of twins in the family. But I wasn't even doing nothing.
Did you ever once be like, I'm gonna test how disciplined you was. You ever just one day wake up and was like, man, I'm grown. I'm finna leave.
Leave my house?
Yeah.
Like in Pine Bluff?
No, in Texas, like, I'm finna go back. Cause my mama didn't ever want me to go back to Texas either, but you know, she didn't ever like put that like.
Man, so for me, when I would go back, so I remember the first time I went back, and it's like I had planned like I think a dinner at Chili's,
Right.
and it was a beautiful experience. But then I also felt like by the second time, by my sophomore year, I started pledging, so I couldn't like. That was some different energy. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, the longer that I stayed and started developing at Prairie View, the less people that I was talking to in Pine Bluff. And it kind of felt like people thought that I was better than them. But I wasn't. I just had to adapt to my environment to survive.
Right. I feel that.
I just felt like Pine Bluff kind of like turned a back on me a little bit because I no longer was there. You know, and we just had maybe a little misunderstandings because I was literally at Prairie View. Like, there wasn't much that I could do about that. And I was studying engineering, so my day-to-day was like studying long time.
Define turning their back on you. Like how
Making me feel like I thought I was better than them. Like I remember one time I went to Sonic with my friends and I was like, I don't think we should be eating processed food. And they was like, Jasmine, you think you better than everybody? I was like, nah, like I think we should eat healthier. I don't know, like
it sounded like you were trying to make everybody better. and they looked at it like that.
Yeah, but that's the thing, like that's the small difference. Like I was like, let's eat differently. And it's like that made me like I'm better. Imagine my little 19, 20-year-old self like, let's go eat something else other than the processed.
Yeah.
And it's like, nah, you think you better than me. I'm like, wow. Like, we could have went and got chicken. I probably just wanted to eat some chicken.
Man, a lot of our friends had, like, a childish mindset like that. Like, and some people looked at it. Some people was like that with me, but it wasn't upfront like that.
But you got everybody heart, though. Like, you saw when we posted that video, you had, like, 50-something shares. You know how many times I done posted? I ain't got nothing else share. My podcast... That thing was empty. That share was low. I had my grandma saying, good job.
I mean, I guess. You know, like... Man, that's another conversation we're going to have when, you know, we do this reverse.
Oh, yeah.
But all love ain't real love. But, you know, it is what it is. I appreciate it.
Well, we really real, though.
That's
what the podcast is about, being really real.
You said what? Arkansas made Texas pay. Both of us.
And I really wanted to make this shirt for myself, like Arkansas raised.
Y'all check this out.
It's nice though, right? I made these.
This for the podcast. Now,
just for y'all.
Now that's
y'all
support.
go buy this shirt and like support his podcast. Like this is his shirt. Like this community. Like this really his. I'm here just to support it. But I feel like you do a good job of bridging Pine Bluff, Arkansas, Texas, Arkansas together. Like, you did what I couldn't. I got to give you mad respect.
Yeah, I try my best.
You doing it, though. Like, it ain't no try. Like, you're doing it. Like, you are, is, am, do.
I appreciate it. So, let's get to the pretty plug.
Oh, yes. Pretty.
Where did it come from? Where it sound? Because I remember you saying... You say your friends didn't ask about the pretty plug. Then they went invested in it. How long? When did you start that?
So I was in college, right. And I started this blog, and it was called Success with Stith, and I won an award for engineering and like being a woman in technology. And the Success with Stith was pretty much helping people learn about internships, and so I got an award. And I was like, oh, I didn't even know that was being a blogger. That was me just putting something out there where I knew somebody else could read it. And if y'all go back and look, like, you can search Success with Stith, like, that blog looked a mess. But I did what I tried to do, which is educate, inform, inspire. Turned up, and I was like, man, Success with Stith is cool, but that ain't got no spice to it. So I was working in the library, and I was a new AKA, and I was like, Jazz, you pretty. I was like, yes, you are. Talking to self said, huh?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, but I'm the plug, but not the drug plug. I'm the plug, like electrical engineering plug, like a socket.
Yeah.
I got a whole lot of energy, like a plug. And then on top of that, I help put people on. I'm the plug. So really, I'm the plug. Really, I'm the plug. Jazz the pretty plug on the Really Rell show. Period.
So. When you came up with the pretty plug, what was your original
goal for it?
Yeah.
Man, when I say I'm pretty much the same that I always have been, I think that's a Pisces tendency. Like, I'm different, but I'm still the same. Back then, it was faith. Well, it was like, I won't say faith was in there. Faith came later. The walk by faith came later. But it was like, I just wanted you to be successful, entrepreneur. It wasn't even entrepreneurship. It was like, successful. I just wanted you to be successful. That was kind of like Successful Stith, then I'm Jazz the Pretty Plug, and then I went through some more stuff, and then that's when the Walk by Faith came. It's like so much compounding on compounding.
Understood. So, what are your plans with it now, going forward?
I'm a global speaker. I'm a global educator. I'm a international author. I am a multi-billionaire, period. And whether or not you see it, or whether
flame popped up right there.
You know what I'm saying?
Ooh,
you know.
Flame popped up right there. He set the table on fire.
I'll have my own shoes that will have faith in the soles, so that every time you put your foot in a shoe, you're going to literally be reminded to walk by faith. I'm going to have books, multiple books. I got so many books inside of me. I just need the people that's going to like write it, because I'm better at talking than I am at writing it. I'm going to have merch, clothes. I don't think I have my own hairline, because like I'm not that invested in it like that. But I'm going to promote everybody. And so I'm going to have so many brands underneath me like I already have. Like the Wild by Faith show had over 80-something episodes. So that's 80-something people. And like there's so much more where that comes from. It's like it's only one of me though. So I plan to multiply myself, build more plugs. And it's going to be like the Pretty Nation. That's really what it's going to be. I'm going to have a bunch of pretty girls.
I need to be there.
Oh, yeah. And that's where the love connections will be. Because I truly believe that there are going to be men that are rising up that are like saying, you know, we are going to do whatever it is that a man does. And, you know, we can go into that conversation. And then I'm going to be over here like building prosperous Proverb 31 women. Yeah. Wholesome, yet a little sexy. But also understanding who they are and how they can contribute to the greater good of humanity. And that's what I've been doing. All I've been wanting to do since I was probably little is just build better humans. Like I told my mom when I was younger, I wanted to be a brain surgeon. Yeah. I'm kind of doing brain surgery because I get you to rethink and to refocus on what really matters, which is your purpose.
We definitely need people like you in the world, because I ain't going to lie to you. Just from, like, I'm very confident in myself, and I know I'm doing my thing here, but when you watch my one podcast and you gave me that feedback, that meant a lot, you know, like, to see somebody actually watching, ain't never, you know, been up here or nothing, we ain't seen each other in 10 years, so there's no bias, nothing, and then you gave me real tips, you know, I be reading, the stuff you gave me all the time, I'll be like, yeah. So I can imagine what you can do for others. Yeah.
I pretty much gave him like my podcasting secrets, and it's only and no charge, period. And I did that because of how much I believe in you, because that definitely cost $9.97 at minimum. Yeah. And I was just like, I believe in you, and I know that you have something because you've just not quit, and you've been consistent. And anytime that you do something consistently past 6 months, it's going to stick. Right. And even if it evolves, which is to what it really is, which is a conglomerate of TV shows and entertainment and probably music productions and all kind of things, like I am just in awe that you took a chance on yourself and you bet on you. And that's why we're here today, because you bet on you. Like, I couldn't be here and sitting next to somebody that didn't start. Right. Like, you started and you kept going. And I was like, how can I amplify this? I was like, let's make some shirts. Let's really bring about the fact that, yes, we're in Texas, but we was Arkansas made. We getting Texas paid. But really, I'm internet paid, though. We can really get all that. I'm paid from the internet. Yeah. That's the biggest bag you gonna ever get.
Whole world on the internet.
There we go. Do you know the whole world is in your phone?
Yes.
You have access to the whole world.
Like, I look at stuff on such a bigger scale. Like, when I see something like I be telling people to keep going, just like they tell me. I be like, hey, my podcast only got 160 views. Bro, picture 160 people in the room.
Some people...
That's a lot of people. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not trying to curse. I'm still love God. Some people shit their pants.
For real.
And what'll happen is they be like, oh, I only got 30 likes. Okay, let's 30 people come poke you. Yeah. Oh my God. It's like we try to equate numbers to some type of success metric when you're not understanding human life. Like, I focus on one person a day. Yeah. If I can impact one person a day, I'm doing my job.
For real. Like, if 160 stop what they 160 people stop what they doing to listen to what I gotta say. I'm doing
That's
something right.
you
That's
doing something right. Because
So-
160 people, that's actually if they tell one other person, guess how much that is. And if those people tell, word of mouth is the most powerful form of marketing there is.
Yes it is. For real. And that's why I say it so much. Really real. It's a brand.
It is a brand.
Like it's a brand.
I'll make you a shirt.
Hey, I appreciate it.
For sure. Let you come up in here every time.
They just know I'm gonna wear this out. Wear this
yeah.
out. They know how I am with them shirts. And I like to wear most of the clothes I wear was made by somebody that got their own clothing line or something in Arkansas.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really appreciate it. So let's talk about what do you want to do for Arkansas from Texas?
So I really did that because I moved from New York City and then I came to Dallas and the whole world shut down, but I felt alone.
Right.
And I'm just now finding my tribe, and I really know that in my spirit I'm gonna move to Atlanta. Like, I already know that. Like, I've been told that so many times, and like my connections now are like where I feel like I will be able to take on the next level of being on TV, which is like what I told you, I'm gonna have my own show.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm a little Tabitha Brown, but like I didn't even know Tabitha Brown existed. But I'm a little different because I'm like a venture capitalist, like chicken woman, like faith woman, like gonna tell you about yourself, but also I'm gonna build you back up and then I'm gonna give you connections. So, what was the question? What am I gonna do for Palm Bluff? Okay.
Yeah.
First thing I want to do, Friendship Academy, the
Yes.
school. My shout out to you, Quill. Follow you. I ain't trying to get no type of points. Like, you rightfully deserve like your award just from your TikToks. Like, if I had a child, if God had given me a child, I would definitely like send my child there, and then he could come back. He or she can come back.
And shout
That's
out to
how
my-
good.
Yeah, and shout out to my friend Sable too. Her first year as a teacher. She gonna be there.
Congrats. Okay, let's shout out the whole Friendship Academy school. Tim Scott, I think it's another new. That's the president of the school. Like, Tim was our band director. You was my band director. You wasn't in band with me.
Them. You know, I always used to come.
You wasn't in band with me.
I wasn't in band. I was the person that always, Mr. Lott, can I be in band? He'd be like, no, and I'd be like, all right.
Okay, because I could have swore that you was in there, like, but you was always with us.
Yeah, I was always with y'all all the time. I wanted to.
What was you gonna play?
I don't know. I just wanted to be at the trips and be with y'all. That's all. I ain't care about what I play.
Why you just didn't pick up an instrument?
Because Mr. Lott didn't take me serious. Because if I come in there and say something, everybody, I can't be serious. Like, I can be serious, but everybody laughs. Like, people do stuff like that, and then.
Well, I believe in you. Shoot, everybody can tell me their dreams. I'm believing them off the real.
I come in there, Mr. Lott, can I be in band? The whole band laughs, and he just like, get out there and know I'm playing. I'm like, bro, I'm serious. They just goofy.
I could have swore you was in band. Like, that's wild to me. Like, Jalen, everybody, like, he really wasn't in band. Like,
Nah, I just hung around them. You know.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
KC
you was
was
in
in
the you was
band.
in the crew. You was with Scooby them.
Yeah, KC and Robert.
And then Cordero.
Yep.
I'm just lost.
You know, that's still my closest friend to this day.
Do you know, like, I have hood experiences. Let me tell you. I used to play cards with Duna, Cordero, Brandon almost every weekend. That's how I learned how to play spades. I don't even know why I was over there. Like, what was I doing?
That's crazy because every time I ask Brandon to teach me how to spades, you can't really just teach nobody. He always say stuff like that.
Hey, he used to teach me. Brandon, you need to teach Terrell.
Yeah.
Come on.
I ain't even know Cordero can play spades. That's crazy.
We used to play cards all the time. So, back to the point. First goal, I would like to do a huge fundraiser, or God give me enough capital to be able to go and throw a nice check at Friendship Academy so that they can build another Friendship Academy in Whitehall, another Friendship Academy in Chapel, another Friendship Academy in Little Rock. Like, whatever business model that they have, I'd like to duplicate it. And then hopefully, somehow partner with people so that, I can go back and teach entrepreneurship. Like, I always had a dream to be able to have an entrepreneurship school in Arkansas. And to be honest, it could be filled with people that can do trades. It could be filled with people that are like, learning how to build businesses and build brands. But I just know, like, my father, he worked at Tyson, and, you know, I saw him work day in and day out, and, you know, just picking up a lot of different jobs and working at the paper mill. Like, I barely saw my father's side of the family because of how hard the men work, like 12 plus hour shifts. And, you know, that's not uncommon, but it's just like, what if there was another way? What if there was another way where you can spend more time with your family and also make a lot of money? And for me, what I believe my route is, and what it has been, and what it will always be, is the internet. I really love the internet, and the internet is what provides you the multiple streams of income that people like to talk about. So can I kind of break that down?
No, you don't. I mean, you can.
All right.
For those who don't know.
Yeah, so let's just say right now I got 9K on Instagram. My account finally got monetized. Instagram pays me to post. I sell products and services. That's a bag. Hold on, let me break it down. Instagram pays me to post. I sell a product. I sell services. I am constantly bringing about my content, right? And then what happens is the brand continues to grow, and the higher your brand grows, the more money these platforms pay you. And then it's just like a continual state of money. And then what happens is all of your old content, it multiplies because people are going to watch old stuff as well as new stuff. And then I charge courses and stuff based off of what I do on there, which is completely different from the products and services that I can sell on there. And then running ads and all of these other things. Like, there are so many ways to make money on the internet. There's multiple ways to skin a cat. And I think the best monetization tool is YouTube. But to be honest, it just takes a lot longer. Like, because you started your podcast on YouTube and having video first and being consistent with video first, like, you will blow up on YouTube even faster. Right. With staying the course. For me, I started off on Snapchat, then I moved to Instagram, then I did podcasting, then I had a YouTube a little bit. It's like I've been diversifying versus like honing in on one. But what it did was allow me to learn each platform. So now that's what I teach, is like how to use social media.
Man, that's why exactly why I've been preaching, man. I've been begging for them sponsorships, man.
Shoot, you ain't gotta beg.
When if you help me out here,
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I
Yes.
ain't gonna beg, but like I watch, everybody watch the dude from Chicago. He called himself corporate. He do this Black Chicago be like. He always, making jokes. I'm saying he got restaurants. You know what I'm saying? He implicate them in his videos. They paying him. This man getting paid by AT&T. Current car, I ain't know. I got a current car because of him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I bank with current.
That's another stream.
Yeah. Like,
because now, because of your following, companies reach out to you.
Mm-hmm. So, like, man, the internet don't go.
But the reason why I was saying you ain't got to beg, because every day you show up, that's a stunt.
Oh, yeah. I ain't even mean to say big.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, like, you put in the hard work to bring people on your show, to create the content. Like, at the end of the day, it's an even exchange. Your product or your service will not be promoted in front of an audience that I helped to build. That's why it's not a beg.
Yeah.
It's a ask. You could either say yes or no, and that's business, not emotional. But it's probably more beneficial because his price is just going to keep going up, because he got a business coach over here that's like, yeah, you're worth right now this, but over time.
Hey, y'all see, who needs something promoted? Who want to come over here? Then I made that status about getting paid. Now it's all, a couple people in my inbox, hey, big bro, you still going to let me be on the, I need some money now.
Low key, and you can charge. You can charge for people to sit here.
It took one of my homegirls. She texted me and she was like, she wrote me on Facebook. It's a Facebook friend. She was like, how much it cost you to go on your podcast? And I was like, it's free right now. And she like, niggas not pulling up for free? what's wrong with people? And it just hit me like, she ain't lying. So I'm finna start charging, you know?
His price went up.
Just like that.
And it ain't even on no, we better. Because that's what'll come next. They think nah. We believe in ourselves.
I'm only better than the people that think I'm better than them.
Yeah. We believe in ourselves, and that there's a price to that. Because there's somebody on the other side of this camera, there's somebody on the other side of this video looking at us, wanting to be right here where we are, and the courage, the tenacity, the risk, the time that it takes to do this, that costs. And we are more than deserving of black talent coming out of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, to be supported for the hard work that we do. The price went up.
And then and all y'all people, they be like, oh, you spending this much to do this? Why don't you just do this with your phone? Why don't you this? Are you gonna, them same people, they ain't gonna watch it because the quality low. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is... The
people that complain the most, they're the ones that don't ever like, I used to have people, Jasmine, you should do this, Jasmine, you should do that. And I'm like, I looked at their stuff, I'm wondering, like, where they stuff at.
Yeah, like...
And this ain't no hate. This just a really real show. Like, I'm just being real.
Really real.
Really real.
So, let's get into this. Because I seen you said something on my status.
Oh, yeah.
I made a comment yesterday. I said, I've never met a woman that hold herself accountable.
Yeah.
Women love to blame something or somebody for every situation. And when I said that, you know what I'm saying, you know, you got the occasional women. I hold myself accountable. I was talking more on a deeper level than just, I was wrong. I'm talking about, like, a mistake that even on the outside, not even your fault, but you still thinking about what could you have done differently for that not to happen. That's how deep I'm talking about when I say hold yourself accountable. Like, if I say, let me think of a quick example. Like, if a person stole my phone while I was hooping, you know what I'm saying, playing basketball, why did I leave my phone on the bench too? That's holding yourself accountable too. Like, that's how deep of the level it was. Like,
so what prompted it? Like, what did you see? What video did you see? What podcast? Like,
I saw a post.
What the post say?
It had a picture of Blueface, the rapper girlfriend, when she was looking real pretty back in the day. I mean, I guess it's an old picture before they were dating. And somebody was like, Blueface really destroyed her. And I was just like, the same girl he's trying to pay to get rid of. Like, the same girl he tried to, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it just, a bunch of thoughts just came through my head of how, like, and then the conversation me and Nero had on my last episode of just how women do that on social media. So instead of commenting on the status, I still kind of wanted to get out how I feel, so I made that post. Yeah. And I knew what was going to come behind it, but it was just like...
Well, I mean, I'm going to always straddle multiple fences because it's my job to create some type of controversy so we have positive conversations that help to unite the black community. I don't think that women hold themselves accountable 100% of the time. I think there are a lot of instances when women can say, hey, we knew that we saw red flags in that guy and we still chose to stay. I'm saying statements because these are things that I personally believe in. You don't get anywhere not believing anything and not having an opinion. Most people that have platforms have an opinion.
Right.
And that's just the facts. When it comes to relationships, like, women are just as much accountable for whatever takes place because it's a boundary that you either set for yourself or don't keep for yourself as to what you allow, right? And your confidence and your ability to say, you know, I'm worth more than this, therefore I won't accept this. Or, you know, you may think I'm not worth as much, so you'll accept more. Like, I know I see a lot of beautiful Instagram pictures and stuff, and those men be cheating on them. Or it's people that are just so happy and they ain't posting at all. Or people can actually be happy and posting.
Right.
Like, multiple things can be true.
Right.
But in this life, we are 100% accountable and in control of what we do. I'm in control of everything that I say, in the actions that I make and who I am. I can't control this man. I can't control what he say, what he do, how he reacts, how he respond. Life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% how you respond. So I do think collectively in the Black community, if we all can have a red table talk and say, we are at this place because of the actions of the learned behaviors of our forefathers, our generations before us that did not communicate well, didn't work well together, put each other down, didn't support each other, didn't learn how to mobilize money, communities, families. They just talked about what happened with mama and cousin and Pookie and Ray Ray versus like, let's go get therapy for mama, Pookie, and Ray Ray. And let's not talk about them. Let's give them the support that they need. And actually treating like having kids is a village versus your kids doing this and my kids doing that. At the end of the day, if we're honest, we're all in a collective conversation where some people's relationships is doing this and some people's is doing that. Blueface and them just willing to put it out there. It's a lot of blue faces. And what's the girl from that?
Christian or something.
It's a lot of blue faces and it's a lot of Christians out there.
I don't know if that's her real name, but it's y'all know who we talking about.
And the point we're making, because I'm pretty sure we can clip this up and it can be taken any kind of way. For every finger that you point, there are 3 fingers pointing back at you. And just like you want to make men accountable, you got to make yourself accountable too. And at 28, because I done went through a lot of stuff and I really don't care. And that takes a lot to even be as transparent as real, because I'm on a Really Real show, Really Rell. At the end of the day, like, we not going to move forward as a community with lies. Some women need to air out their dirty laundry and say, I was this, and this, and this is why this, and this happened. Some men need to be like, this is what happened and I wasn't healed and this is the trauma that I caused and I need to go back and apologize to all the women that I hurt, because somewhere that's breaking down the future generations. And the partner that you choose to remember, do you want to make this a world better? Or because you with them due to whatever, maybe lust, maybe they fine, maybe they this, maybe they that, maybe you don't think you can get nobody else. The children that you're going to birth out of that energy, are they going to be better humans or worse? And you're 100% accountable for that.
What she said. And that's why I be needing women around when I do this. For real. What she said. Because, like me, I know I hold myself. I used to be that dude, like, in all my relationship, man, this girl did this girl did that. I was being a good man. I was like one of those dudes that treat the girls good and thinking that's all I gotta do. I'm the nice guy. You know what I'm saying? She shouldn't have did me like this. But then through therapy and getting, all my trauma cleared up, I realized, damn, I was probably so emotionally draining. Yeah. I probably was, complaining all the time, you know what I'm saying? Playing that nice guy card every time something do wrong, something goes wrong. Like that's a red flag. That'll hurt a relationship, you know what I'm saying? Like sitting up.
And I've been in therapy consistently, like every week since my divorce finalized. So you ain't looking at nobody that ain't went through shit. And that's one thing about me. Because I done went through so much stuff, I just refuse to be quiet anymore.
See, men, the thing about men on the outside and being a man, like you got the men on the outside, like, bro, you go to therapy, that ain't gonna help, or what's talking gonna do? Then you got the men that's scared to talk about it, you going to therapy for nothing, you ain't gonna talk about it. So I get straight up on there, I be like, yeah, I went to therapy today. I remember on my birthday, I showed a little FaceTime video of me and my therapist talking on my birthday. I went to therapy for my birthday.
That's beautiful.
Like, you got the people that tell me I overshare. And then, you got the people that support. So, I don't know. Most of the people that think I overshare, they don't want to need their help.
Yeah.
I done had plenty of people call me and be like, bro, I don't know how you do it, How you get on Facebook and saying all this, you don't care about what nobody say? I'm like, bro.
No. I'm a free black person.
What they gonna say?
I'm really free. Because I don't care what anyone has to say about me.
Nobody.
I tell everybody everything. I even said I'm in chapter 13 the other day. If you watch my post, I don't care. Cause when I die, they ain't gonna. I want to die empty. I wanted to ask you something. Can I?
Go ahead.
There's very rare occasions where I think I've been interviewed. Because people don't be interviewing me. It's fine. But, like, what is the definition of a man?
A man?
Mm-hmm.
I can't 100% give that definition, but I can tell you what I see a man as.
Okay.
A man is a person that holds himself accountable. A man is a provider. You know what I'm saying? A man has faith in what he's doing. I mean, it's a lot of things that go. I probably can easier tell you what's not a man, you know, but a man is a person that's in tune with himself. Like, it's not always all masculine, gorilla, monster all the time. It's a person that can be vulnerable. Mm-hmm. I think that's a real man. That's my opinion.
Oh, you know? Yeah. I like them vulnerable.
Because
give me some of that vulnerability.
Ain't nothing more gangster than that. I don't care what you say.
Women love your vulnerability, man. They love it.
Ain't nothing more gangster than that. I don't care what y'all say. Like, you being able to sit up and
talk about your feelings.
That's one of the hardest things you can do. It's easy to go pull the trigger. It's easy to yell. It's easy to be mad. It's easy about, look, how tough is you to let it all out?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
why is it so much easier to hold it all in, even in 2022, when we have continuously shared the message of healing, therapy, and that men don't have to be all of these things. They don't have to hold it all in. Like, the messages is there. People know about it.
The message ain't coming from the direction people are looking all the time. Like, you still got those people, like the people that tells me the things I was just saying, like, you overshare, you do this, and then you got some people to make it feel like it's not okay. I'll give you an example. August Alsina situation.
Oh, man. Dang.
That damn near ended his career just because he poured out about what happened with him and Jada. Like,
I got so much thoughts on that.
Man, don't even get me started on that. I've been defending this man for years since that happened. But that's the best example I can think of. That's the first thing that popped up in my head when you said that. Like, that man, this man, he'd have been on the red table, saw this man get up there and cry. He talk about his pain. That's what his music's about. They asked him about the Jada situation. Like, people forget that was going on. That man was like 24, 25. Yeah. He the same age as us.
And his,
you know, I know he rich.
And the brother.
And the sister. You know.
It's giving some different stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, like, and then he do stuff like that, and the whole world, oh, he's soft. He's sitting up telling, he done told, he did this and that. You know what I'm saying? Women and men saying this. He tender. I don't know what it is about that word tender, but that'll get under the dude's skin so hard. That's probably the worst thing you can say to a dude these days, calling them tender. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's a lot of things. And then and then not even just relationship with the drama stuff. Like, people got their definition of a man. They feel like a man doesn't open up, a man don't cry, a man don't, you know. And sometimes it's the parents that does that. You know what I'm saying? Early age, especially when you a boy, when you a little boy, you cry, hey, quit that crying. Little boys don't cry. Little boys don't do this.
It's just so confusing. I grew up in a house with women, so, you know, I didn't grow up with brother. I have a brother. I have two brothers. My blood brother, James Stith, and then my play brother, god brother, Ryan Jordan. And, you know, we talk about our feelings. With every man I've ever been with, we always talk about our feelings. Maybe that's because I'm born in March.
Man, I don't know.
Like, I just won't connect. Like, if I can't get to the feelings, I won't be able to invest my time. That's just me. That's just, I don't really know how to like fall in love with someone if I can't get to their feelings.
A lot of men be worried about, and then let's not get it twisted. It is women out here that use it against you. You know.
Yeah,
it's
always
the
extremes of both.
Yeah.
But then where those, I always have to look, like, when I think about women, like, there's so many, no matter what I say, I'm never going to say the right thing. And so I'm not attached to the result of the things that I say. I'm only attached to the people that are hear me for what I'm saying, not for the result, right?
And that's the answer,
I think, personally, that when you were raised without your father and you did not have a father in the home and you had to go and find that source of whatever, you're never going to have a full picture of what it's like for a man in any perspective until a real man, and that's subjective, comes into your life and provides you affirmation, communicate with you, is nurturing, because men can be nurturing too.
Right.
Men can be emotionally too. They can have feminine characteristics too, and that doesn't make them gay. They can just be in tune with their self. And until we have more in tune individuals versus people that are so into what they wearing, what they bought, what they got, and more on who they are to the core and being unapologetic about who they are, we're not going to achieve the true aspects of even like relationships. Do you know how many false relationships I've had because people just think that they were supposed to be a certain way in order to be around me, when it don't take much for me to love you. That's why I go through so many relationships, because it don't take much for me to love people, right? In general, until I see that I'm like, all right, this is a little harder than it was expected. But what would it actually be if you were really real with yourself? Like, what would that actually be? Like, if you was just really real and you didn't need a talk show to do it, and you was just like, hey, I come with this, and this, and I'm working on this, and this. And I'm not trying to put a front up. I'm not trying to be nothing that I'm not. And this is where I'm at.
You know what's more scary than talking to a therapist? Talk to yourself.
I talk to myself all the time.
The first thing that's gonna come to your mind is, yeah, it ain't nothing wrong with it. The first thing that come to your mind when you talk to yourself is, I'm fucking crazy or something. But in reality, y'all be scared to face y'allself.
People are not okay with looking in the mirror.
Yeah, like,
there have been times where I did not like what I saw. I felt like a failure a lot of times. I felt like I was not enough a lot of times. I felt like there was something wrong with me.
I challenge any person. I challenge any person that's watching this that never been to therapy, that don't want to go to therapy, that think it's too much, it's hard. I challenge y'all to go in the mirror and say and open up to yourself.
Yeah.
I ain't saying nothing wrong. Cause I want you to do it, but at the same time, the first time, watch how hard it be.
Yeah.
Just watch how challenging that be, and that's when you're gonna realize that, oh, it's a lot going on up in here.
Yeah.
I can't even tell myself this. I can't even look in the mirror and say this to myself, let alone the therapist.
Yeah.
But get that out though. It got to come out. You don't trust therapists. Who you gonna? That means you don't trust yourself. You don't love yourself. You can't even tell. You don't want to go to therapy. It's a stranger. They might tell my business and all that. Tell yourself then. Sit in the mirror and talk to yourself. Vent. And if that's hard for you, you need to love yourself some more.
Just to add on to that, like, how people be like, hey, tell me about yourself. And, like, if the first thing that you bring up is your degrees and your accomplishments and all the things that you've, like, done, are you more attached to the success, or are you more in tune with who you are? Like, if somebody asks me who I am, I'm like, I love chicken. I love God. I'm a little weird, but I'm consistent in my weirdness. And I done gone through a lot of stuff, but at the end of the day, it's always about how I can help you get to the next level, and not just about me and what I bring to the table and my accolades. I could have told you a list of my resume. It don't matter. You know why? Because at the end of the day, it's how I can best serve you.
It's easy for me to tell you about myself. I'm gonna tell you where I'm from. I'm from Arkansas. I like to make people laugh. I like to joke. I like to read. I'm sensitive.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? I'm sensitive. I mean, it is what it is. I'm like that. I have a lot going on, you know, but I still keep moving. I got a story, but
Ooh,
it is what it is.
dang, he dropped bars.
Woo. Now,
Y'all right over there?
hey,
You get really real? It's getting really real up here.
it's getting too real, man.
Get too real instead of too loud. Get
Yeah,
too
it's getting
real.
But man, before we get in too deep, man, we're gonna wrap this up. We got more things coming soon together. Y'all stay tuned for that. I appreciate you for being here. This was probably one of my favorite episodes.
Really?
Yeah. And I appreciate your search. The search gonna come out for anybody who want one, to be honest.
It's all for him. I'll help make them. All the proceeds go to him, his podcast, all the hard work that he's been putting in. Join our Facebook group. It's called Pine Bluff to Texas Connect. That's how we're trying to pass the gems that we learn in Texas and all over the world back to Pine Bluff, where it's rough. But honestly, it's one of the best places that there is on earth.
Arkansas made, Texas paid. This Really Rell Podcast, episode 6. We out.
We are. Look, ain't no more hesitation. It's always the ones who invalid who trying to seek validation. Your excuses recycled, no wonder you feel like your time is wasting. No wonder you feel like you always waiting. It's all lining up for me, you ain't play your part, no wonder you feel like your time is fading. So I ain't got no time for these